I want to tell you something. I do all these blogs and talk about my wife, my kids, my business partners, all this stuff, but I'm going to start creating different channels on my YouTube blog and on my website, davidbronstein.com. And the different channels are going to be like episodes of my crazy life. And one channel is going to be about my wife, and I got a lot about her. Another one's going to be about my business partners. Another one's going to be about my family. Another one's going to be about success. Bronstein's Top 10 Secrets to Success. I'm going to talk about in this channel success and success stories and success. Now, if you turn this light, that success that other people have achieved and how you can achieve the same success they have. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm going to tell you why. Howard Stern all week has been talking about American Idol, that Simon Cowell is leaving, and everyone's talking about he's going to be the next guy to take over. He's talking about who's going to take over for Simon Cowell, and everyone hates his guts. Of course, he's a great guy. He's having a lot of fun with it, all that stuff. But he did say one thing, and when people say, what is Howard Stern's expertise? Because Simon Cowell knows. He knows about music. He knows about people. He knows about pop stars. Howard Stern knows nothing about that. And then Howard Stern said the following, that Simon Cowell dropped out of high school at 15. He got a job in a mailroom at some music company, I think EMI or something like that. He built his way up from working in the mailroom as a teenager to a music producer. Then he left EMI, I think that's who it was. Simon Cowell left EMI to start his own music company. And then his own music company went bankrupt. He had no money, he was in debt, and then he moved back in with his parents. And then what happened? Then somehow, some way, he became a judge on the Idol show, the Pop Star, some British show, that is like American Idol, but it was a British show. And he was working in Britain. Nobody knew who he was. And then it was pitched to Fox. And the executives of Fox said, forget that. We don't need this show. Nobody's going to watch this show. Forget it. And then by fluke, Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox, his daughter happened to see the British show of the American Idol version, before it was American Idol, happened to see that show running in Britain, and said, Dad, you got to get this show. It's terrific. And Rupert Murdoch said, okay. Then he called the executives of Fox, who turned down the show, and said, you got to get this show. So they got the show, and they took the whole team. They took Simon with it. Who knew Simon? And now Simon gets $50 million a season. $50 million a season to appear on American Idol. Now, how could this be? We've all been taught when you grow up, you got to go to high school, you got to go to college, you have to get a degree, you have to get SATs. And who makes $50 million with high SAT scores? Does anything make any sense to you? The biggest geniuses, the big Harvard and Princeton and Yale, do they make $50 million for a season? What's a season? 13 weeks? 50? Well, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit in the plan. Now, of course, I've been telling my kids that if you want to succeed, do something. I say, do something, you'll succeed, because most people don't do anything. They just sit there. I like to do this, I like to do that. What are you doing? How are you planning on getting there? No idea. But if you do something, you'll succeed. And I tell my kids all the time, success is based on ambition and drive, not education. My wife, what do you tell them? You got to go to school. Well, don't tell them don't go to school. I don't tell my kids not to go to school. Let them do whatever they want. I don't care what the hell they do. But I know too many people that have tremendous degrees in education and smart. They should be professors. They're broke. They got nothing. Why? Because when you don't take the education you have and the stuff that you know-how, and you don't pursue, you don't have any drive, you don't have any ambition to do what you want to do, you're going to sit there like a schmuck. I have a very close friend from Philadelphia, has 2 degrees, a master's and a bachelor, living in a shelter. As horrible as that is, he's living in a shelter. Can't find a job. For 30 years, can't find a job because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't want to find a job, but he's very, very smart. We have another friend that was living here. He's very educated. This guy, you can talk about anything. The most greatest guy in the world. He's so smart, it's crazy smart. His wife supports him. Can't figure it out. Can't figure it out because he has no street smarts. He has no sense of social values and making it in business and in life. There's a lot of psychology there, which is another part of my blog, and it's a lot about social skills. My mother used to say, Dave, the biggest deals, $1 billion deals are not made in the boardroom. They're made on the tennis courts and they're made on the golf course. And she's right. So my wife would say, Dave, stop telling the kids, and it tells all their friends, David says the kids don't have to go to school. And then what happens? All the friends call me, don't you dare tell my kids I don't have to go to school. Who am I to tell my wife's friends' kids not to? How do I care what they do? I don't tell them. I don't even tell them. I let them do whatever they want. But I'm asking Jared. Jared was my kid. I'm so nervous. I got tests. I got the science test, math test. I'm not gonna pass. I'm so afraid. I'm so scared. I said, great. So you get all A's. Then what? I said, take your test with the all A's and go to the bank. See if you get a mortgage. See if they'll give you a mortgage. Or when you get an all A's, when you go to a restaurant with your friends, sit in the restaurant saying, when you go to McDonald's, I like to have a hamburger. When they tell you that'll be $6, say, great. Here's my test. See if that's going to do you any good. And don't you...
What? Chuck E. Cheese. You give them A's, that'll give you 12 quarters.
if you go to Chuck E. Cheese. So there you go. At Chuck E. Cheese, they care about your grades. They give you 12 quarters. I said, Jared wants to get good grades because he wants to go to college. Great. Or university, they say in Canada, but it's college wherever we go. Harvard, University, Yale's all colleges to us. So I said, great. What do you want to study at college? Don't know. I don't know. I said, great. I'll send you to Yale. Get the greatest grade. When you get out, what are you going to do? No idea. So I'm going to have a very smart kid. Doesn't know how he's going to support himself, but he's going to be a very, very smart kid. So my wife, we were at a restaurant a few weeks ago when we saw one of Andrea's friends, and the friend comes over and says, oh, so what school are you going to? Because at certain ages, when the kids were younger, what camp are you going to? Camp. Are you going to camp? Everybody goes to camp, except my kids. My kids never asked to go to camp. They go to Camp Las Vegas. That's where they go to. I would have sent them every day. $7,000 to go to camp every week. I'm $7,000. I don't care about the money. I give my kids whatever they want. That's not the issue. But nobody ever asked them when they go. They want to go to Las Vegas. They want to go to circuses. They want to go to movies. They want to have fun at camp. Every day during school, you have to get up in the morning. You have to eat at lunch at a certain time. You're so structured. Then finally, you have the summer, 3 months to relax, do whatever you want to do. What happens? You go to camp, and what happens? You get up every morning. You got to have lunch at a certain time. Doesn't make any sense. If you think I go on vacation, I have to eat at a certain time, at a certain. You know what that's called? That's called package deals. When you go on vacation, that's what it's called. When you got to have lunch at this time, you got to have dinner. I hate that. That's why I never go on package deal. I'll pay retail. You ever hear of a Jew paying retail? But I pay because I want to go and do what I want, whatever the hell I want. But as Andrea says, there's everybody else. Then there's you. So why am I bringing all this up? Because when we had a dinner a few weeks ago, when a friend came to the restaurant, to the table, and said, what school are you going to? Because now at the age that they go to different schools. And then he says, David says the kids don't have to go to school. Oh, you should have heard the earful. And I love this girl. And she would say, what do you mean you don't have to go? You have to go to school. I wish I could have gone to school. I like to go to school. I let her finish the whole thing. And I said, you're very pretty. She said, oh, you don't want to talk. I said, who cares? Everyone wants to give me their opinion. Who cares about their opinion? The only opinion that means anything is mine. And it only means anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to anybody else. My opinion is worthless like everybody else's opinion. Who gives a shit? Here's what I'm trying to get at. I never told my kids they'll go to school. They can fly to the moon if they want. I don't care, whatever they want to do. But all I care is that they can support themselves. Because right now, I'm supporting them! And they should be able to support them. Justin Bieber, 16, you know who the hell that is? He's a billionaire already, Justin Bieber. He sings a couple of songs and all the girls want him. He's a millionaire. But here's what I'm trying to say. After me telling the kids all this stuff, then Lauren, my other kid, says, hey, Dave, there was a professor on 2020, and I'm going to play that video on my channel, my success channel, and the professor says, who wants to go to college? What do you need to go to college? I'm a professor at college. College isn't going to help you make any money. College isn't going to help you. It's a professor at a college that's telling you it's on 2020. My wife says, don't you dare show this to the kids. My wife said to me, I said, what do you mean it's a professor? You got to listen to the professor. Because many of my kids' parents say, Dave, you influence our kids. They listen to you. You're an adult of what you have to say. So I said, who the hell's going to listen to me? A guy that was a stripper. Are you kidding? And let's say they did listen to you. It's like when people go out and they rob and they shoot and they kill and they say, how did you do this? I saw it in the movies. Aha! It's the movies that made them do that. Everybody has excuses, and they use an excuse for the truth is they did it. Nobody did it. Nobody influenced them. Why do I want to go into show business? Because I like Jerry Lewis. I like Mel Brooks. I was influenced by Jerry Lewis. Great. Does that mean I have to go into show business because I like Jerry Lewis and I like his comedy? I went into show business because I like show business. I love performing. I love talent. That's why. So when people blame, it's your fault because he did it because you. It's like when a kid comes from an abused home, verbally abused or physically abused, whatever the hell it is, and then he gets married and he abuses his kids. People say, well, because he was abused, that's why he didn't realize that he was being abused, that's not normal. You don't know that when somebody hollers at you and hits you and tells you you're no good and you're lousy and you stink and you'll never make it anywhere, when somebody keeps telling you that, you don't realize, what's he talking about? That's not a way to talk to somebody. And then when he has kids, he says, well, you're lousy, you stink. And people say, well, it's not his fault because his father, my parents smoked. I didn't smoke. We're all individuals. We all decide wherever the hell we are in life. That's the way it goes. When people have excuses, well, yesterday, Jared, I'm going to have a conversation with Jared on camera, said to me, hey, Dave, you know how you always say that college education isn't going to make you successful, but you're going to make you successful? I said, yeah, it's with what you do, with what you know. That's going to make you successful. He said, my teacher would tell me the same thing. I said, what are you talking about? He said, my teacher today said, listen, college isn't for everybody, and unless you know what you want to do, college isn't going to help you succeed. Like if you want to be a film director, college isn't going to help you become a film director. This is Jared's words yesterday. You may want to go to film school, directing school, but after that, you got to go out and you got to pursue your dream. You have to go out there and make contacts and make it happen and show what you can do. College isn't going to help you do that. So college, depending on what you want to do with your life and business, how you want to support yourself, college may not be right for you. I said, don't you dare tell your mother, and don't you dare tell your friends, because look, I'm not on me. I said,